Mr. Transformers 96 here in the video review. This time we have the Star Wars The Black Series from the Solo film, The Range Troopers. So overall, I'm not nearly as excited for the Solo movie as I should be for a Star Wars release. However, since we're starting to get close, I am starting to, anticipate the, actually watching the film. I do have my tickets, so I did purchase a few of the Black Series figures. Got the couple of Range Troopers here. I basically want to get all the Black Series ones, but I would like to just get them all on discounts. These two, was able to get them both at a deal together for $30, so that's $15 a piece, which is $5 under retail on both of them. So I did get them for a good price. And I did also pick up Solo, so I do plan to post the Solo review the day the movie comes out on Friday. But yeah, so overall, these troopers were definitely really interesting to me. I love the troopers from the Black Series line, and it's very cool to see how they redesign them for each film. And these are very unique troopers. These are kind of like the precursor troopers to the snow troopers from Empire, so it is kind of neat to see an earlier design of them. And these are actually really cool designs. Going over the actual figure here, the head sculpts are very cool. These head sculpts are very much like the newer versions of the classic troopers, kind of from like Rogue One. I get a big feel of this guy, the hover tank driver from Rogue One here. They are, they do have a slightly different look, but they have the kind of bulkier, square foreheads with the chin and side, pieces that really flare out to the side. So they have a similar design, although they, of course, are unique sculpts, but they are rather similar. This trooper has an excellent kind of little cloth piece around the neck, which is wonderful. It's very soft, it lays really nicely, and it can be spun, by itself. So if you want to turn it, you can totally do that, which means it doesn't get in the way of articulation. Just, it looks great. It's one of the best uses of cloth that I've seen on a figure of this scale, which is really nice. The rest of the armor does look quite good, especially at the front here. The armor itself is a very shiny white and has dirt that's been, put on it, which I think it's actually done really evenly and quite nice. And then it's been a whole lot of cloth. The cloth at the bottom here is a rubber piece. The cloth, I like the shading of white because it's more of a darker cream white. I do like the fact that it's a different shade of white than the armor itself. It allows the armor to pop, but there isn't. It doesn't have much dimension to it. It's all the one color. I wish that they maybe brush in a little bit of light gray or something. It doesn't have to be as extreme as the armor damage, but just to have some dirt on it, I think would be nice. Or maybe even some patches of bright white, like it has snow damage on it, something like that. That might be nice. The gloves looks quite cool, and they do have quite a large opening at the wrist there for the hands to freely move. I'm very impressed with this guy's articulation, which I'll go over. His legs are quite nice. He does have these straps that come around that are connected to the these rubbery sections. They very much remind me of the straps on the Bosk figure. He's got those straps on him just based on his design, so it's very similar to that. These look cool, but they actually do hinder articulation, which is disappointing. He has armor bits on the legs. I believe these are used to kind of suction cup them to items, because of course we see them in the trailer when they're on that train that's like swirling, and they seem to be walking on the train using these devices, these mechanical boots, but they do look very cool. I do like the kind of spring section back here in the red pieces. My only issue with them is that they're not painted enough. They're kind of light gray. You have a couple little things painted, like those buttons and the springs and everything, but the rest of it is all just very plain. The legs, the boots here definitely need some sort of wash, because they're one of the coolest pieces of this figure, and they really don't pop, which is unfortunate. And just in general, these are very heavy figures. These are probably the bulkiest troopers that I've ever seen. Even the Flame Troopers. The Flame Troopers were very bulky because of their backpacks, but their arms and legs were rather, just normal size. But these troopers are bulky through and through, like the arms, legs, torso, the whole thing is just very bulky proportions, which means that they have a nice heft to them. I got these the same day that I got the Solo figure, and just holding all three of the boxes, these were just so much heavier, which is quite nice. It makes you feel like you're getting a little bit more for your money, which I do enjoy. Going over articulation, the head has a pretty nice range with the ball joint, even with the little furry piece. Sometimes when you move the head, the furry piece moves, but you can always just move it right back to wherever you want it to be, which is nice. I do also like that gold visor. Looks really good, and it's painted really evenly, which I like. He's got ball hinge shoulders, swivel elbows, and as you can see, the hinge moves really nicely, even more than 90 degrees. This is very impressive, considering some of the troopers from The Force Awakens didn't have this range, and they had much skinnier arms, so these bulky ones have a great range. He has hinge swivel wrists. a ball-jointed upper torso, which is actually has a lot more range than you'd expect for somebody of this bulk. He has ball-jointed thighs, which are a little hindered just based on the little crotch armor piece and the straps, and he also has a bicep swivel, which you can move, but it's a little unnecessary considering he has swivel hinge knees, and the knees move quite nicely, a little less than 90 degrees, and then the ankles are just single hinges. No pivot, which usually I would find unfortunate. However, with this figure, it's totally fine considering how the armor boots are kind of set up. It would be really difficult to put in pivots there. But overall, these are excellent troopers. I actually really like them. First of all, just from a design perspective, I think that they look great and they're very unique. And then from a functionality, I think that they're excellent. They have great articulation for their bulk, which is extremely surprising. And they're really nice, solid figures. Would highly recommend picking up a few of these range troopers for anybody who's a trooper collector, especially for anybody who's excited for Solo. If you're even not really excited for Solo, but you of course are a Star Wars fan, these are solid ones to get just based on the design in general. Even if you're not huge on the movie, I think that these are just great figures and really nice additions to any trooper collection if you have a Star Wars Black Series collection of that. So yeah, overall would highly recommend these two. They're excellent and I'm quite excited to get them in my collection. So let me know what you guys think of the figures, and thanks so much for watching.